I'm busy with spring cleaning, plus my AC is out for who knows how long. I need to learn how to use my Instant Pot, so I'm not using my oven, and it makes dinner time quick and easy for those really tough days where I'm spending a lot of time doing some spring cleaning and decluttering. So come along with me and let's learn how to use this. Hey guys, okay, last month I did a Dollar Tree mini series where I showed a couple different aspects of what you can do and purchase from the Dollar Tree, DIYs, home decor, all that good stuff. However, this month I do have a new mini series, but I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm going to be using my Instant Pot. I do have a few collabs coming up that I'm excited about, and I'm going to do this maybe twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. So if you have an Instant Pot or any other brand pressure cooker, come along with me while we learn how to use this and cook all sorts of fun and yummy things. So today I'm just going to do an overview of my Instant Pot, show you some of the buttons, a few tips, a few don't do this kind of thing, and really just do an overview and basic beginner's guide to the Instant Pot. So I'm gonna take you down to my counter and show you guys what we're gonna be working with. Here she is, my Instant Pot. So this Instant Pot comes in a few different sizes. I have the 6-quart. I will have it linked down below if you guys want to check it out. Again, they do have other sizes and they have other brands. I am just showing you guys what I have. So this is what the front looks like. There's a ton of buttons, but one of the most important things you need to learn about the Instant Pot is because it's a pressure cooker, this right here, this nozzle is going to be very important. So right now I have it turned to sealing. The word is right here behind it, and that's going to allow the pressure cooker or the Instant Pot to come to pressure, and then when you turn it here, that's going to vent the pressure out. This little thing right here, once it comes to pressure, it's going to pop up, so you're going to see that it comes to pressure. If you're ever cooking and this doesn't pop up, that means there's something wrong. You need to clean it out or something like that. That has happened to me a couple times. Another little tip, let me switch the camera into my other hand, is before I showed you, my hand was over this and turning it. Never do that. Because right here, see those 3 little holes? That's where the steam comes out. So never ever have your hand over that, you will get burned. So I just use my finger and I touch it right here on this side. Sometimes I'll use my spoon if I'm already holding a spoon, and that way it easily turns it back and forth. Another thing is when you are releasing the pressure, you see how I have it under my cabinet here? Don't do that, because the steam is just gonna come up here. You're gonna get a little water damage and all of that good stuff. So I always make sure I have it out and it is in the open, and the steam can just come up and there's nothing in the way of it. Okay, so staying with the lid, there's this little arrow. You see that arrow? And there's another arrow right here. That's the only way you can get this on and off. So if you just pay attention to that arrow, when I was first learning how to use it, I was like messing around with it, and like it will not go any other way but like that. All right, then we come to the control panel. Now, most of these are pretty explanatory. I mean, it says what it does: soup, meat stew, bean chili, poultry, steam, porridge, multigrain, and rice. And your Instant Pot should come with a booklet. I have never once used any of these yet. We are gonna use a couple of them as I'm showing you some recipes. The main one, 90% of the time, you're just gonna be using this manual button. So there is a saute. You also could use this as a slow cooker, as a crock pot, which is really neat. And then this yogurt button over here as well. All right, so I plugged it in. It's telling me that it's off, and we're just gonna go ahead and press the poultry button. Now see that time? That means it's gonna cook for 15 minutes, but that 15 minutes does not start until the Instant Pot is hot. So any second now, it's gonna say, there we go. It beeps. This makes a lot of noises, and I like that because every time it makes a noise, it means you're doing something correctly. So now that it's on, once it comes to pressure, it's gonna cook for that 15 minutes. And once it's done, it'll automatically go to keep warm. So another thing is, if you are doing something and you need to switch the function, you actually have to turn it all the way off first before you can go into a new function. All right, so let's talk about a do not. Look at that. There's no inner pot. So I'm gonna show you guys what the inner pot looks like, but I wanted to show you guys that while if you use the Instant Pot and you're, cleaning the inner pot, you cannot put your food just in here. You will ruin your Instant Pot. You have to have the inner pot. That's better. Now I can cook in my Instant Pot. This inner pot is what you need to cook all of your delicious meals. All right, something I just recently found out is this Sautee button, because I'm so used to just using the manual. If you ever look up a recipe on Pinterest, most of the time you're just using the manual, and I've never used this Sautee button, but this is really awesome because this condenses the amount of pots and pans that you have to use. So let's take pork chops, for instance. I recently did a crock pot pork chop meal where I had to saute my chops first in a pan on my stove and then transfer them to my slow cooker. Well, the Instant Pot is gonna do all of it for me. I can saute my pork chops in here, and then I can just go to manual or poultry, whatever I want to use to cook it on, and actually do the cooking. And that keeps all of those extra seasonings from me sauteing it in this pot, which I think is fantastic. All right, so there is a little bit of an overview. Now I'm gonna share with you guys 2 tips, actually 3 tips that I have recently learned. The first one, I was like, mind blown. You guys, typically when I'm opening up my Instant Pot, I always just set my lid down, but look at this. Like, I'll give you a second. Just sit down if you need to, if you were just blown away. I was blown away. Your lid rests in the little side holder. Now, if you're left-handed, you can rest it on that side. It works on both sides, and I have been using this so much lately. When I'm just opening up and I'm stirring it, I just leave the lid right there. It no longer takes up counter space. I was amazed at that and knew I needed to share it with you guys. So another thing having to do with the lid, now your Instant Pot, when you cook in your Instant Pot, even after you clean it, I think it has something to do with the rubber right here, this rim. The smell of what you're cooking kind of sticks to it. So when you're putting your Instant Pot away and storing it, normally you would just think that you would close it all up like a crock pot or your rice cooker and store it in your cabinet. But trust me, the next time you pull this out and use it, it's going to smell. Even though you know it's clean, it's going to smell like the last thing you cooked in it. So my tip is to store it with the lid just on top like this. That way it's still airing out and all of that, and you won't have that really strong smell of the last thing that you cooked. Okay, last tip. Now, the Instant Pot is a lot quicker than some other things that you can use to cook your meals. But even though, like I said, when you are cooking something, even though it says 15 minutes, it still has to come to pressure after it turns on. It doesn't take very long to turn on, but then it has to come to pressure, and then it will start the countdown. So my tip to you is to cut down on that time where it has to come to pressure. As soon as you pull your Instant Pot out, before you get all of the ingredients that you need for your recipe, press the Sautee button and just leave it on saute until you are ready to cook your meal. Just remember, once you're ready to cook it, you have to press cancel, and then the next function that you're going to use once you've got all your ingredients ready. All right, that's my small, short, and sweet little beginner's guide with a couple tips and some make sure you don't do this ideas and tricks for your Instant Pot. All right, so I'm actually gonna be back tomorrow with 5 easy, like the easiest things you will ever cook in your Instant Pot. That's what I'm bringing to you guys tomorrow. And the rest of the month is going to be Mondays and Thursdays. I have a lot of really interesting and fun and hopefully delicious recipes to share with you guys. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you guys have any other extra tips, I just wanted to share the basics. I didn't want to go into like a super long video and a lot of information for you to try to remember. If you guys have anything that you think is a must know for beginners and you have been using your Instant Pot for a while, leave those down below so everybody can read them. I myself would love to know some more hints and tricks and tips and anything else that you think that we should know for our Instant Pots. So hit that subscribe button if you guys are new and the bell so you're notified when I upload if you are really excited to see the rest of my Instant Pot mini series. So don't forget to check back tomorrow. Bye guys.